If you're working as an IT service desk engineer or help desk engineer, this video is definitely for you. And also, if you want to become an IT professional, of course, you can also learn from this video. So we are going to be focusing on some of the tasks you are going to be performing as an IT help desk engineer. So let's say you are working for a multinational company or for a small company or even a very large company. You have some simple tasks you'll be doing. For example, receiving calls from users when users have issues with their devices or they cannot reset or they have issues with their password, they will definitely need to call you. But right now, we have what we call the self reset password. Users can reset their password themselves. But at the same time, when user tries to reset their password, sometimes it's still difficult for them to do it, or maybe because of one reason or the other, they will need to contact the IT help desk. So you as an IT help desk technicians, there are some skills you will need to know. For example, how to use Active Directory, how to use Microsoft Intune, Microsoft 365, and even Azure Active Directory. So here I have a Windows client operating system. It is actually a Windows 11 device. So if I just enter my Windows version here, and we can see that we have a Windows 11 operating system. Mind you, this is actually a trial version. So if I go to my Windows server, here you can see we have our Windows Server 2025. Here I can go to Tools, and you can see we have Active Directory users and computers. So most of the time, definitely, I'm working right now on a domain controller. But if you're working in a company, you will definitely not be using the domain controller, and you will not even have access to it. I don't think there is any company that exists in this world that will grant a help desk technician access to the main domain controller. So what they actually do is you'll be delegated some task, for example, in Active Directory users and computers, or even DNS. So you'll be delegated some tasks to reset users' password, for example, add computers to the right organizational unit, create security group, and all these will be delegated to you, but they will not give you the full control of the domain controller because you can do a lot in the domain controller. And also, if you are new to IT or you are working as an IT help desk engineer, if you do something wrong on the primary or secondary domain controller, it may affect the whole of the organization. So that is why most company or most IT engineers do not grant access to the service desk engineer or the help. Even system administrators sometimes don't even have access to the main domain controller. So if I go to here, you can see we have our organizational unit. I have some users here. I have some users, we have some groups, and also in the group, we also have some users. So let's say, for example, you are being called, someone called you, let's say Bob. Bob have an issue with his login. He have an issue to log onto his laptop and or to his desktop device or even his mobile device, and he called you that he has a problem and he cannot log into his device. So first of all, you may see that if I, for example, let me just disable account. So you may see that the account, for example, account may be disabled. Probably Bob has not worked for the company for some time because he was sick or on holiday. The account may be disabled. So what you need to do is to reset the password. And here we have situations whereby, for example, you want to make sure that the users must change their password the next time they log on, because if you create a password for the user and the user does not change his password at next logon, which means you also have access to that password and you can log on to a computer using that to a corporate environment using that user's logon credentials. So right now, let me just create one for Bob, and the password needs to match. So you can see it says users must change password at next logon. If the account is locked, we can say unlock account, and then we're going to click next. And also, mind you, you still need to enable the account. You can see we can enable this account. But if I double click Bob's account, on that account, if the account is locked, Here you are going to see that the account. Let me just click apply and see. If I double click and I go to account, you can see we can actually unlock this account. If the account is locked, we can unlock it. And then you can actually scroll down here and check. You can see, for example, the account is disabled. So you can also check and see, okay, users cannot change password. You can also put users cannot change password at change password. If, for example, that is a special account, sometimes most companies always make sure that the users cannot change the password. So let me just click cancel for that. And also, we also have, for example, under devices, we also have clients. You can see we have just one client device. If, for example, a user cannot log in to his device, we can also disable this account. So when we disable this account, probably when the user try to log on, so this is my account. Let me just do the following. I'm going to do a CMD here and do GP update, and I'm going to force the policy from our domain controller to this device. So let's try and see, because we just disabled the account, and let's try and see if we are able to log on to the device. So the policy has been applied. You can see say computer policy updated has completed successfully, but we also have some failed policy for the MDM, which is probably possible because this device is supposed to actually register to MDM automatically, but maybe the user's account I used does not have an MDM account, so this may be the issue. So let me just try to log out. Let me do sign out. So right now let's try to log on again to this device. So when I try to log on to this Windows device, let's see what is going to happen. You can see it says the security database on this server does not have a computer account for this workstation trust relationship. And the solution you can see is that if I go back again to my client computer, you can see that the account is disabled. So definitely when the account is disabled, the user cannot log on. So that's why you are receiving this. So when I click OK, so let's try something again and let's try to enable this account. Try to enable the account and yep. So let's make sure that the account is enabled and let's try to log on again. Here we go. You can see it says welcome, which this is actually a sign, a good sign that I'm being logged on to the device. So if you're having issue, for example, you can see that I'm logging on to that device. So definitely you want to check if the computer is disabled or not before you can actually try to see if there are other issues that are causing the issue. But sometimes it may not even be that the account has been disabled. If you even try to re-enable the account may lose also trust relationship with that device. Is then the only solution is for you to actually rejoin that device to become part of the domain controller. So now let's go to Microsoft Intune or Azure Active Directory. So here we have Azure Active Directory. So if I go to users here, you can see we have some users which have been synced from my on-premises domain environment. You can see we have members. So here we have some users account. For example, you can see Jorun, which I just used. And if I click on your own account, here you can see we can actually reset his password from Azure. So if I reset his password from Azure, his password is, of course, is going to actually reset back to the domain environment. So I have a kind of a write back situation whereby the password is being written back to the local domain controller. So any password I enter here, for example, if I enter a password here and I do reset, so unfortunately, you cannot reset this user password due to a policy or error in your on-premises environment. Okay, definitely, probably there's a policy that was configured that the password should only be reset from on-premises. So let's go back again to our Office 365, and from here, let's try, for example, Kel John, and then I do a reset. I'll say if I do automatically, no, I don't want to automatically create a password. Let me just enter a new password here. Well, see this one is a little bit strong. I can do a reset password. Not now. And you can see it says you have successfully reset the password for this user. So right now from the Microsoft 365, you can see we tried for Kel John and the password got resetted. But also, if I go to devices, active device, here you can see we also have our client device here in Microsoft 365. So if I click on the device, we can actually remove company data from this device. We can factory reset this device, or we can even delete it. So when do you use the company remove data or factory reset this device? If, for example, this is a laptop or even a desktop and it has been stolen, maybe the laptop has been stolen. So you want to actually protect the laptop. Of course, most of the time you will definitely have BitLocker configured on that device. So you are going to say remove company data and then click remove company data. So anytime the device is turned on, company data will be automatically removed from that device. The users, anyone that stole that device, will not have access to that device anymore. And also we also have Microsoft Intune. If I go to device here on that Windows device. And then we still have also this one device you can see says compliance. And from Microsoft Intune, we can actually do a lot with the device. For example, we can go to hardware inventory of that device. We can check the total storage. We can do device inventory to check, for example, battery, BIOS, CPU, and even the recovery key. Should in case the users lost his BitLocker key, we can do show recovery key to see the recovery key of this device. And if we go back again to properties of this device, here we can see the device name, manage name, device category, and you can see the device ownership is personal. We can also change it to corporate. So let me just discard that for now and then close that. And also, if I click on this device, here you can see we have the option to also retire the device. We can wipe all the information on this device. We can also sync this. If, for example, we create a policy in Microsoft Intune, we can also sync information to the device direct, directory, because if we sync the device, it takes some time for the information to actually sync on that device. Every policy, compliance policy or configuration policy you create will take some time for the device to be for the policy to be synced. But when we actually sync it from here, it will directly sync the info to that device, and the device will have that policy. We can also do a full scan and also a quick scan on that. We can even restart the device. So if I say restart, here you can see it's trying to initiate a restart on that device. And if I go back again to the device, after some time, the device will receive a message that there's a request to actually restart that device. So these are some of the simple tasks you will be doing if you are working as an IT help desk engineer. But mind you, this is not only, even system admin do also the simple task, because this is part of what you'll be doing. Because first of all, you need to become an IT help desk service desk engineer, second line support engineer before you become a full system administrator or system engineer, and you have deep knowledge about your Windows server and Linux server and even Azure. And because everything right now is going to the cloud, definitely you want to upgrade your skills also to learn more about the cloud. Thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. I just hope this video gives someone a little bit of information about what the IT help desk is all about. And also, if you think this video has been of any help to you, please don't forget to like this and leave a comment if you have any comment to leave, or if you have any question. And my name is Kelvin Johnson, and please support me by growing my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more IT videos like this, or probably one of my old video may be of any help to you. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye.